It is simple to overshare and expose oneself to others in today's connected society, both in person and via the ubiquitous social media platform. While establishing genuine connections and encouraging empathy might benefit from transparency and vulnerability, Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, serves as a helpful reminder of the value of protecting particular facets of our existence. I will be discussing several topics and personal matters in this video that are better kept secret. Items that have no business being disclosed. You may do great things in life with privacy, both in terms of strategy and developing inner serenity. For Stoic or philosophical ideas, for those who come after us, you can be confident that this film will help you live a Stoic life in the modern world. With origins in classical Greece and Rome, Stoicism gives ageless guidance on how to walk the delicate balance between openness and secrecy. We shall examine 7 topics that Stoicism counsels not disclosing to others in this post, illuminating the philosophy's ongoing applicability in the modern world. Prior to starting, please make sure the channel is subscribed to and that the notification bell is turned on so you don't miss any inspiring videos. Be the best version of yourself as always. First, others don't need to understand the struggles you've had in the past. First on the list, the fights you have already had. In life's path, there's no need for others to grasp. We all face problems, fight fights, and conquer obstacles in life that might stay hidden in the recesses of our hearts. It's not necessary for others to fully understand these internal struggles, the struggles you've faced in the past. There's no need to make excuses for yourself to people who have already walked their own difficult paths. Trying to explain all of your difficulties could come across as arrogant, as if looking for approval for what you've gone through is what makes a person who has been through a lot. It is not necessary for you to share these struggles with others, or use them as a justification or story, though. These difficult times have been the furnace in which your life was shaped, giving you the maturity, discernment, and unwavering persistence that define your character. Even while your past has shaped who you are, others don't need to be able to clearly picture the suffering you've gone through. Their real recognition should be of your personal development and metamorphosis. In the end, it's more admirable when someone chooses to live completely in the present rather than obsessively on the past. One actually expresses their traits and experiences via their behaviors, not their words. It is more important to demonstrate one's inner strength and resilience by putting one's abilities into practice rather than bragging about one's prior experiences. By doing this, they go beyond being a simple story of success and turn into a dynamic example of the resilience of the human spirit. Consider a man by the name of David who has had many hardships in his life. He has lost a loved one in the past, joblessness, and numerous challenges in parenting his kids by himself. David's life has changed significantly as a result of these struggles, which have also demonstrated his growth. David made the wise decision to focus on the here and now, rather than venting to others about his struggles. He discovered how to take advantage of every chance and provide to his kids with a loving atmosphere. David did not linger to talk about his own difficulties. Rather, he helped others in his community, exhibiting keenness, patience, and strength. Everyone in David's neighborhood consequently saw a positive change in his life and his beneficial influence on them. Instead of dwelling too much on his past struggles, David demonstrated by his deeds that he had overcome adversity and come out on the other side as a resilient and important member of society. Number 2. It's best to keep the details of your objectives private. Number 2. It's best to keep the details of your objectives private. Generally speaking, it's best to keep the specifics of your goals to yourself. Even though the majority of people might know where you're going in general, consider the repercussions of disclosing specifics that reveal every turn you take. It would be like giving someone unlimited access to your own phone. You effectively give up control of the situation when you do this. If things doesn't work out the way you had hoped, you could start to wonder if you made a mistake or if someone violated your confidence. If an attack does happen, it becomes difficult to identify who might be behind it, whether it's a well-meaning buddy asking about your objectives or someone with bad intentions, because there are so many possible points of injury. Preserving the vital information about your goals is crucial. Actually, It's generally enough to just say which way you're heading in general. You don't have to tell somebody all the little nuances of your journey. No one else can genuinely be your confidant in the same way that you can be for yourself, after all. You don't know anyone, and your road is entirely your own. A thorough justification of your objectives. It's perfectly fine for you to be the only one with first-hand knowledge of your own trip. Consider yourself a sculptor who is creating a precious and one-of-a-kind work of art. You haven't disclosed any specifics about the sculpture you are making, but everyone around you is aware that you are working on it. You only promise that the sculpture will be an amazing piece of art and that it will be unique. Eventually, you decide to tell a close friend additional information about your sculpture since you have faith in them. You go into great detail regarding its dimensions, meaning, and form. But eventually you discover that specific details about your sculpture have been revealed. Some people are attempting to steal your labor by copying your sculpture, or even tricking you into thinking they are the original. Here, disclosing too much about your sculpture has caused you to become uncontrollable, and running the danger of the sculpture being taken or duplicated. If you only inform people that you are working on a unique sculpture without sharing specifics, you can preserve the surprise and distinctive worth of your artwork while protecting it. Number 3. Your contentment despite the fact that you feel happy and lighthearted less often. Third, your level of happiness. Thinking that happiness and a feeling of lightness are rarer, these feelings are now highly sought for. So when you truly exude happiness, it may have a significant effect. People may respond in different ways. Some people were skeptical, while others were in awe. Your sincere smile might astound some people, while some might doubt your sincerity and find it difficult to accept that someone can in such an environment really find inner serenity. It's critical to show off your delight with pride. Whenever someone asks how you're doing, you don't have to downplay how happy you are. You may firmly state that you are doing well, as opposed to just saying that you are. Though it's a small change, it exudes confidence and optimism. It's acceptable to acknowledge that things are going well rather than obsessing over how great everything is in your life. In a world where melancholy and unhappiness are prevalent, being joyful all the time can be perceived. Relationship is. The temptation to rant or ask friends and acquaintances for guidance when problems or conflicts occur in a relationship can be powerful. But it's important to stop and consider the effects of this decision. It's possible to unintentionally undermine the very foundation you're working to strengthen by disclosing personal information about your relationships and other facts to people, especially online. Imagine that you two are dealing with a problem in your relationship. You both need to handle a pressing matter that is creating stress and anxiety in your emotional lives. Rather than having a face-to-face conversation about this matter, you choose to confide everything to a trusted friend. You sense that you could use some outside counsel and assistance. You discuss the situation with your friend, share your feelings, and express your need for a fresh viewpoint in order to find a solution. Unfortunately, though, when you tell your story, things go in a different direction than planned. Your companion begins to share their thoughts and observations. People start to inquire as to why you two are together, provide advice on how to resolve the situation, and even voice any worries you may have about your relationship. Eventually, the topic of conversation turns to your friends, their thoughts, and perspectives, and you begin to feel as though the original problem has been ignored. The topic of other viewpoints and opinions is discussed during the talk, rather than how to handle the particular circumstance and strengthen your bond. The foundations of a happy and successful relationship are closeness and effective communication. But when they are developed within the relationship itself, as opposed to outside of it, they work best. Many people struggle with marital strife and seek reconciliation in their relationships. They seek solace from friends, relatives, or even the virtual community. They unintentionally turn their personal issues into gossip by doing this. When you accept this, it becomes clear that your ability to preserve a careful balance between intimacy and seclusion will determine how well your relationship works. It refers to the capacity to settle disputes and manage tensions without sharing with the outside world all the minute details of your partnership. Essentially, the sacred space you and your partner establish together is what strengthens your bond. It's a place where direct and honest communication is encouraged, where problems can be resolved amicably, and where closeness can grow when you don't disclose every detail of your connection to other people. You protect this space's purity and make sure it continues to be a source of strength and support for you and your partner. So keep in mind, even though getting help and counsel is important, preserving the closeness and seclusion that add genuine value to your partnership is equally crucial. Your financial status is number 5. Your financial situation is number 5. First and foremost, keep in mind that no one in your social circle is an IRS agent or a bank employee, so you don't need to divulge private financial information. Furthermore, by disclosing your financial situation can have undesirable effects regardless of your financial situation, such as debt or financial security. If you are wealthy or well off, sharing this information could draw those who are looking to take advantage of you by seeing you as a possible source of funding. On the other hand, if you freely acknowledge that you are struggling financially, a lot of people would think less of you. Since financial success and personal value are frequently associated in society standards, that's just the way the world works. So proceed with caution. For this reason, keeping your financial condition a secret is the best course of action. Allow people to conjecture as they choose, but don't reveal anything about your financial situation. You'll make sure that those who matter to you aren't too worried about your financial situation by doing this. If you show signs of despair or financial trouble, people will avoid you and your possibilities may be compromised. Showing signs of desperation won't help you in a social situation, job interview, or just hanging out with pals. Not only does desperation ruin the mood, but it also makes you seem like a burden to other people. Recall that desperation won't get you where you want to go. Actually, it's probably going to repel the help that you could need the most. It is therefore usually advisable to protect your privacy and refrain from making such attempts if you ever find yourself considering disclosing a lack of financial control to others. In conclusion, it's critical to perform confidently and with composure. It's important because it affects how other people see you. Remember that appearances matter a lot in this world, regardless of your inner confidence or financial situation. The secret to persuading others that you are in control and equipped to handle any circumstance that comes your way is to project confidence. Number 6. Confidentiality and personal ties. Number 6. Confidence and personal relationships. The philosophy of Stoicism lays a strong focus on the importance of maintaining loyalty and trust in interpersonal interactions. According to the Stoic perspective, disclosing someone else's weaknesses and confidences can have negative effects that eventually erode trust and undermine the fundamental pillars that support our relationships. Stoics wholeheartedly support the values of restraint and honesty when handling other people's vulnerabilities and personal information. They know that how we handle these kinds of confidences not only says something about our character, but also about our morality and the principles that guide us. From the Stoic viewpoint of, as we understand that the confidence people have in us is a reflection of our moral character and our dedication to the welfare of those around us, we have a responsibility to behave responsibly and respectfully when it comes to questions of confidentiality. In addition to exhibiting our moral strength, we also help to foster the growth of strong, long-lasting bonds based on loyalty and trust when we use caution and protect others' confidences. This Stoic principle serves as a reminder that how we handle other people's confidences directly reflects on our own moral standing and character in the eyes of the public and ourselves. Suppose you have a good buddy who confides in you about their personal struggles and concerns. They have completely trusted you with their secrets and intense feelings. The most crucial thing is that you pledge to support them in any circumstance and to keep this information private. Later on, though, you get a call from a different friend asking you to give them the information you know. Because you promised to keep the first friend a secret, you find yourself in a difficult moral predicament. If you were acting stoically in this situation, you wouldn't tell the second friend the information, preserving the original friend's confidence and privacy. This is an illustration of acting with tact and morality in the face of other people's expectations and upholding the confidence that your first buddy has bestowed upon you. Seventh, uphold your personal values and ethics. Seventh, uphold your morals and principles. As a guiding light, Stoicism emphasizes how crucial it is to maintain our moral integrity and values in the face of outside pressures and social expectations that could try to pull us away from our own beliefs. In a world where people are frequently tempted to abandon their deeply held beliefs in the name of conformity and the desire for approval from others, Stoicism serves as a timeless philosophy that steadfastly encourages us to uphold our commitment to virtue and ethical conduct in the face of society's constant pressures. Stoicism exhorts us to be firm and unwavering, refusing to give in to the pressure to fit in with the crowd or to violate our moral principles. It serves as a reminder to hold fast to our moral principles, acting as our steadfast mentor while we navigate the treacherous seas of life's difficulties and temptations. We offer a positive example for others and uphold our moral integrity by following this Stoic knowledge, exhibiting the resilience and strength of character that can result from a constant commitment to living by our highest values and ideals. Fundamentally, Stoicism is a philosophical lighthouse that exhorts us to develop an inner fortitude that endures beyond the fleeting changes of the outside world and the demands of society. It reminds us that no matter how strong the winds of popular opinion or how enticing conformity may be, our moral fiber and ideals should never waver. In the Stoic philosopher's deep words, we discover the ageless lesson that, in our constant quest for knowledge and morality, we must cling to our convictions and fend off the constant forces that would sway us from the straight and narrow. Stoicism is an age-old philosophy that teaches us how to maintain our moral compass and, as a result, live lives of genuine integrity and sincerity. Consider a Christian named Alex who lives in a culture where intense competitiveness and avarice are commonplace traits. Alex has always followed the teachings and principles of the Bible, which include tolerance, respect, and love for others. But Alex will eventually face the pressure to achieve at all costs and amass financial fortune in the current social milieu. Alex is presented with a business opportunity that, should he take it, may result in rapid and significant financial gain. But in order to take advantage of this chance, he would have to violate his morals, engage in an opaque transaction, and do harm to others. Alex is guided by moralism in this situation, rather than sacrificing his morals and principles in order to achieve temporary self-interest. Alex makes the decision to stick to his moral principles and tolerance. He turns down that business opportunity and keeps up his commitment to the ideals and beliefs he holds dear, despite possible obstacles and pressures to uphold his moral principles. Alex shows how strong he is by upholding his values. By doing this, he not only upholds his moral character, but also serves as an example for everyone around him of the value and strength of leading a life that is consistent with the higher ideals he seeks. While the 7 aforementioned characteristics make up the majority of what Stoicism teaches us to keep hidden from others, there are other components of Stoic wisdom that might offer more direction when negotiating the challenges of relationships in daily life. First, unfavorable assessments and rumors. Being Stoic pushes us to abstain from gossip and passing judgment on other people. Rumor and passing judgment on others can be damaging to our relationships and our own character. The Stoics hold that by refraining from passing judgment or engaging in gossip, we not only reveal our own character faults but also contribute to a poisonous and bad environment. We uphold our moral rectitude and promote more positive social interactions. The second is a fear of passing away. Stoicism deals with mortality and the fear of death. Though thinking about our mortality is normal, a persistent fixation on death can cause worry and hopelessness. Stoicism encourages us to acknowledge our mortality and stop obsessing on it in order to accept that death is an inevitable aspect of life. By concentrating on the things we can control and the virtues we can develop, we can live more fully in the present. Thirdly, bitterness and regrets from the past. Stoic philosophy also emphasizes the value of moving on from regrets and grudges from the past. Relentlessly dwelling on past transgressions or harboring resentment can drain our mental and emotional resources. Stoics believe that while we should acknowledge the past and draw lessons from it, we shouldn't let it dictate the present or the future. Via forgiving others and letting go of grudges, we liberate ourselves from the psychological weight of the past. And lastly, individual accomplishments and triumphs. Contrary to popular belief, Stoicism counsels against bragging about one's own accomplishments. The philosophy emphasizes modesty and humility, teaching us that true success comes from abstaining from excessive self-promotion and instead from leading a moral life and looking outside for approval or praise. We continue to be humble and concentrate on the moral road, striving for excellence because it has inherent worth in bringing about contentment and serenity. Final verdict. Inner serenity and contentment are highly valued in a world full of outside distractions and aspirations, according to Stoicism. Stoicism serves as a reminder that true happiness cannot be obtained through worldly items or by exposing one's inner satisfaction and tranquility to outside forces. Instead, one must find happiness within oneself. In the process of living a well-lived life, we develop greater resilience and self-reliance. A complete framework for leading a wise, moral, and peaceful life is provided by Stoicism. It stresses the need of developing traits like discretion, humility, and resilience, while also cautioning us against sharing some details of our lives with others. By adhering to these Stoic ideals, we can successfully negotiate the intricacies of today's society, cultivate deep connections, and discover fulfillment in the pursuit of a life well lived. In a time where over-disclosure and outside approval frequently rule our social interactions, Stoicism is a timeless reminder that virtue and true happiness originate inside. We appreciate you viewing this video. We anticipate speaking with you. Which of the 7 things you should keep private impresses you the most? Kindly share in this section below the comments. Please hit the like and share buttons on this video if you thought it was helpful to others. Remember to click the subscribe button. We sincerely hope you will follow us going forward so we can both learn and develop.